Najee Marshall, the reigning Big East Player of the Week, but they go as Quentin Gooden goes, their point guard. Mike Eads, Roger Ayers. Xavier is in white. SetonHall is in blue. It'll be Zach Hankins jumping center against Sandro Mamukelashvili. And the tip is controlled by the Pirates. It is Quincy McKnight who's running the point for the Pirates. Here is Powell underneath. Michael Enzi is there for the quick bucket for the Pirates.
And you want to say SetonHall, they got to get Myles Powell going early, but he's such a smart player. He knows they're going to jump him early. Got to rely on your teammates. There's a great job there to start the game for SetonHall.
This Xavier team has a few transfers that have been key for them. One of them is down low, the guy who jumps center, and Zach Hankins. Najee Marshall along the baseline. No, but there's Hankins with a follow dunk.
And that's the problem you have when you run a zone. You don't want to be standing around. It might not be your same size guy. You got to put a body on someone in your area.
Enzi is matched up with Hankins. Powell for three. Got it.
I'll tell you what, there were 4 hands in his face. You might have to get 2 more. Kid is that prolific from long range, man.
Trying to gamble for a steal there, and a foul on Quincy McKnight, as he may have given Paul Scruggs a dead leg.
Now, this is how you start a game. Look at all this area down in here. Enzi understands they're going to run 2 guys at our star, Myles Powell. I just have to show up, catch it, and finish. Let me tell you, I played with some tremendous players in my day at every level. It's so fun and so easy playing with them, especially when they get double and triple team. You just have to be able to catch it and put it in the basket. You can even do that, Kutch.
I was going to say, when you're playing with Jason Kitten, he's able to find you. It's not so hard.
Just better not miss.
Here's Scruggs. Got the foul and the bucket. And that foul is against Miles Cale. That's his first, team second.
I'll take this kid on my team any day of the week. Just so tough, Scruggs. That's a heads-up play there. You know, some good athletes on SetonHall's team. All you have to do is give them a little eyebrow fake when you get in there under control and finish. Really one of the nice upside, bright sides for Travis Steele this season.
I agree with you.
Paul Scruggs.
Improved player, playing with much more confidence this year, now in his sophomore year. Powell to the hoop with the dunk. He says, hey, Donnie, I can do more than just shoot.
I gave him a hard time the last couple of games I had. He had some fingertip dunks. Showed me a windmill at Maryland, and I'm sure I'm going to hear about that one later. I told him they were fingertips, man. What are you doing? If you can't dunk, lay it up.
Castlin doesn't like to shoot from outside. Hankins posting up, likes to go that way, over the left shoulder, the bank shot, and we're tied up at 7.
And that's good defense down low, Hankins. That's a bonus for Xavier. If he can get a couple of those buckets a game, doesn't have to go crazy, but it just keeps your guys defensively on the perimeter more honest. Easier shots for your perimeter guys.
Quincy McKnight, good job by Najee Marshall calling out for the switch. Mamukelashvili with the 3. Sandro, the guy they call Mamu, he can hit the 3. He's now 12 of 34 from downtown.
See, this is what helps your half-court defense to be able to get into the zone. You know, as we talked to Kevin Willard today about that zone, you have to make shots, though. That ball's coming out of the net. You have to force your opponent to take it out of bounds in order to get set up.
What a pass right there by Najee Marshall. Wow. Hankins, he's got 6 of the 9 for Xavier, and a turnover here by SetonHall. And quickly off the bench, coming in will be Romaro Gill. There's Travis Steele, first year as the head coach for the Xavier team. He spent a long time on the bench, 10 years as an assistant. Kevin Willard now in his 9th season as the head coach at SetonHall. He's moving up the ranks in SetonHall lore for all-time wins. 3 straight 20-win seasons for Kevin Willard.
One of the keys for Kevin Willard's team was taking care of the basketball. They don't turn it over a lot, but when you have an easy layup, you really have to convert on the road.
Gooden was looking for the alley-oop to Hankins, and Hankins is off to a great start. He's got 8. He averages 9.5 per game.
Yeah, what a luxury. You get a guy who doesn't score a lot going early. It softens up that defense for everyone else.
Kale, wow, just mishandled it.
And there's two different types of, obviously, of turnovers. Your live ball, where they get it going, it's like a pick six. They're down the other end laying it up. And then the dead ball. At least in a dead ball, when you stress the positives, you have a chance to get back and set up your defense if you're Seton Hall. But you don't need those type of turnovers, Kutch. Trying to do too much with the ball.
Ryan Wellich has also checked in now. Here's Scruggs to the hoop, off the glass. Look at that extension that he does, and is still able to lay it in with a soft touch.
Yeah, no one yet has stepped in front of anyone.
And a double dribble here against Quincy McKnight. 13-10, Xavier leading, and a substitution for Seton Hall. Anthony Nelson comes in after 3 straight turnovers for the Pirates. Enzi is coming back in, replacing Mamu.
Yeah, 3 turnovers for Seton Hall, and you know, a lot of times when it's too easy early on, you're making shots, sometimes you relax a little. We saw that, not with the long pass, but the Kale turnover in there. You know, another one, just you think it's going to be there and it's not, and then you double dribble. Can't have it on the road.
Najee Marshall, he gets fouled. That foul will be against Myles Powell, and that will lead us to a break. Myles Powell, he's known for his shooting. He's showing Donnie Marshall some explosion to the hoop.
Thinking, hey, I got some athletes I'm playing against on the other side of Seton Hall. I need to get this game going a little bit quicker. And Hankins answered the bell.
And what he does now is he brings Tyreek Jones in off the bench, and Jones is matched up against Romaro Gill. You wonder if Seton Hall will go to the bench and take Romaro Gill out soon. Wellich to the hoop. Against Gill, able to put it in. Gill is a shot blocker, but Wellich able to finish.
And when you play 7 minutes a game like Romaro Gill, you cannot be gentle in there when guys come in your area. You got to block a shot. Even if you got to take a tough foul, you cannot allow a guard to come in there and lay the ball up over the top of you in your neighborhood.
Myles Kale having a shoot over the outstretched arm of Najee Marshall. A good closeout right there. Quentin good in the crossover. Marshall, extra pass. Scruggs for 3. Tyreek Jones, an offensive rebound, but it's off his leg, and it will be Seton Hall ball.
I like the work by Tyreek Jones. I mean, he was fighting 3 blue uniforms in there all by himself, and that's what he does. He's a fighter, sticks his nose in there, not afraid of anything, and Travis Steele needs that. When you start a guy who's your energy guy, you go to the bench, you bring your toughness in. That's why Tyreek Jones is in there right now, and it's working.
Myles Powell into the corner. That 3 is good for Anthony Nelson. And that's just the second 3 of the year for the freshman Nelson, who is now 2 of 8 from three-point land.
I mean, that play right there shows you that Myles Powell hits the start button for Seton Hall. Whether he's scoring the ball or finding guys, knows how to play the right way.
Marshall for 3. Trying to fight for the rebound. It comes out, and there is Jones, a fresh 30 here for the Musketeers.
Crowd appreciates it. Team understands. Second game of Big East play. Value your possessions. Don't have to be in a hurry once you earn that offensive rebound.
Scruggs underneath to Jones, and there is the foul by Gill.
Seton Hall foul number 35 is Romaro Gill. That's his first.
That's just great patience. Little pick and roll. Nothing there. Scruggs keeps it alive. Draws Romaro Gill, doing a terrific job. You get the big man up off balance and finds your teammate. Terrific heads-up play.
Tyreek Jones at the free throw line, a 61% free throw shooter, knocks down the first. He's worked on his free throw shooting. He was a 48.8% free throw shooter his freshman year, improved every year. But Tyreek Jones, forget about improving his free throw shooting. He's lost about 30 pounds since last year. And guess what? He hasn't lost any muscle either.
Oh, you lose that baby fat, you gain that muscle. And it's giving him better endurance, probably sleeps a lot better, can play longer minutes as well.
Torian Thompson in for the first time. And he gets fouled. The foul will be called against Tyreek Jones.
Let me tell you, as a player, those are plays that you should go over and thank the official for blowing the whistle, because you just come in the game. It's the first time you touch the ball, you try to go one-on-one, and it potentially a turnover. Should be thanking the official for blowing that whistle.
End of the quarter. Roden, the freshman, for three. No. Thompson gets the weak side rebound. SetonHall will reset. Down by 4. Nelson given plenty of room by Wellich. Nelson against Marshall. Kept alive off the glass. Roden back up. And that should have been goaltending. No whistle.
Without question, that ball was still touching the rim.
I'm not sure who touched it with those offensive or defensive goaltending. Marshall, the pull-up, got hit on the arm by Roden. He'll go to the free throw line.
If you watch Kevin Willard's reaction, it would tell you, yeah. Najee Marshall, that's a goaltend.
In FIBA, that's
without
fair.
Question, right. Listen, the stripes aren't going to catch everything. I think what happens is there's a misnomer that because when you see people in uniform, you think they should get everything right. They should be perfect.
Well, it's like your tie. I mean, it's always perfect.
That is perfect. Yeah. That's the one constant. But for our officials, though, you just think, you see the stripes on, they have the whistles, they should be perfect. They're not. Just like as players, we're not. Marshall knocks them both down. 19-13 lead for the Musketeers. 13 minutes to go here in this first half. Quincy McKnight back in for SetonHall. Powell. Good cut by Roden. The find there by Torian Thompson. I tell you, he really knows how to show those bright spots, if you will, Torian Thompson. The key is you got to piece them together more and more, be more consistent so you can get more playing time. Gooden, the step back for 3. Doesn't get the roll. And Mamukilashvili comes away with a rebound, leading the break. Kick out, Roden with the left. Got it. Actually, nope. Count it. It will be. It's going to be a blocking foul against Tyreek Jones. So an and one attempt here for the freshman, Jared Roden. And that will send Jones to the bench, and that brings Zach Hankins back in. Love this kid. Out of Baldwin, New York. Finished high school career with over 2,000 points. I mean, this is just, I love his athleticism, love his body, arms just long. You can't teach that length, body control. Soft touch. Kevin Willard really likes this young fella. He's showing him that by giving him some good playing time on the road. Second game of conference play. And I'll tell you this Cintas Center is one of the most difficult places to play, not just in the Big East, but in the country. Gooden keeping that dribble alive. Now he picks it up underneath. Hankins with a two-handed dunk and a stare down against Mamukilashvili. That's 10 already in the first half for Zach Hankins. I like this. Xavier changing up their half-court defense as well. Showing a little different look, especially with Miles Powell out of the game. An air ball by Torian Thompson, way off the mark there. And that pass by Gooden too far out in front of Hankins. But Zach Hankins is having himself a first half. Good post position with 2 hands. Look at me.
Go inside. Cozy up to the fire.
To get on that glass. Great message.
Seton Hall has brought Romaro Gill back in to match up against Zach Hankins, trying to get some length against Hankins. On the floor, Shavar Reynolds for the Pirates. He's the one who hit the game-winning 3 against St. John's on Saturday. McKnight gets it back. Gill is posting up. He wanted it. Reynolds may have gotten away with a wall. Gets it back, puts up the shot, and he puts it in.
Yeah, you got to shoot that first one. You get in there, nice little, you bobble the ball, but under control. You got to go up and shoot that. Fortunate to get that ball back and score.
We were talking during the break. We feel like Seton Hall is fortunate to be in this game down just 1. Why do you think they're fortunate right now? As Scruggs gets it blocked by Gill, and here come the Pirates, a chance to take the lead. In the corner, it's Reynolds for 3. No. Wallach with a rebound.
Well, Xavier is getting everything they want inside the paint.
Scruggs the alley-oop to Hankins, just like that. It's hard not to smile when you have the start that Hankins is having.
And maybe it's a gift and a curse for Xavier. It's a gift because you got a guy who's going for a career high here in a white uniform at Xavier and Hankins, but you're not relying on 3-pointers. You're not getting a chance to stretch the lead out with 3-pointers, and that's why I think Seton Hall has stayed in this game, because they're just 2s down low.
Well, here's a turnover. Scruggs coming back the other way. Scruggs leaves it off for Hankins. Kicks it out. Kennedy, the freshman, has it stripped. Keontae Kennedy, the freshman from Aurora, Colorado. And now Reynolds looks back at his coach. What does he want run?
Yeah, you got to run something at that high post against a 2-3 zone. The vulnerable spot is along that baseline as well, so whoever's moving down there, you got to move to both sides.
Roden for 3. That's long, and the rebound for Wellich.
And I would imagine Miles Powell would be back in on the next dead ball.
Well, he's going to the scorer's table right now. Scruggs, oh, pretty step back. Soft touch, gets the roll. And a timeout taken.
Guys that, you know, Travis Steele got the job. He's one of those 7 guys that I think the one at the top of the list that he could really rely on to trust and know what he was going to do.
For the Musketeers, number 2.
McKnight, and there's a turnover. Here comes Najee Marshall. Marshall, skip pass, Scruggs to the hoop with the left, no, kept alive, and it comes out to Marshall.
That's a really good job. I think Hankins got his hand in there to keep that ball alive and just tap it out to one of your guards. But Seton Hall needs to take the same mindset as Xavier and get 5 on that glass.
Najee Marshall's 3 is short. Miles Cale with a rebound. Najee Marshall has been battling back issues for a long time. Missed a game this year and coming off a huge game, 19-14 at DePaul on Saturday. Into the corner, Cale, good pump fake to the hoop. Trying to go at Hankins and misses the dunk attempt. That's one maybe where you want him to lay it up. And Marshall turns it over.
Yeah, I don't mind him going up strong like that, because if you get any contact, usually you get the whistle because you're aggressive. I gotta be honest, if that doesn't slip out of his hand, I think he bangs that. I think that goes down, but I love the challenge. I love, you know, we always criticize so many kids about going up soft and double clutching. That ball just slipped out of his hand, so the refs, that's a great no call, even though his teammates probably wanted a whistle there.
Thompson with a 2-handed dunk. Torian Thompson just checked back in. He's the transfer out of Syracuse. A 3-point game, under 8 to play here in the opening half.
And we talked about it in the open a little bit. These teams are very, very similar, and you see it right now. No one can really stretch out and get away from the other team.
Caslin for 3. Doesn't like to shoot from back there, and that's a reason why. Now 10 of 26. McKnight. Quincy McKnight attacking the hoop, makes it a 1-point game. He can score. A transfer from Sacred Heart, averaged almost 19 a game a couple years ago there.
That boy is from Bridgeport, Connecticut. You better stop the ball, because he is always playing downhill. If you've never been to Bridgeport, Look it up.
Oh, I know Bridgeport.
You do.
Marshall, the good feed to Hankins.
Tell you what, Hankins, he might need a respirator. I mean, they're going to him.
He's got 14 on 7 of 7 from the floor.
And they're easy. You know, he's not pressing. They're putting the ball right on the money. All he has to do is catch it and go up.
Thompson for 3, hits it. And we are tied up at 27. Torian Thompson, just his 4th 3 of the year, now 4 of 18 from three-point land.
Took his time, wasn't in a hurry.
Well, that's because they wanted him to shoot that.
Yeah, when there's no one within 6 feet of you.
Gooden to the hoop. He gets the roll.
Love the speed. And he was like, oh, don't forget about me. I know everybody else has gotten involved, but don't forget about me.
Yeah, he's like, I do lead the team in scoring. MZ with the challenge. He gets fouled. And that foul is going to be called against Zach Hankins. But Hankins, he's got 14. The Musketeers lead by 2.
Pass be under duress. It's just too easy to pass it. So when he says, you know, be physical, it has to be on the ball and at the rim.
NZ at the line, a 48.8% free throw shooter. Michael Enzi out of Nigeria, already has a degree in economics, getting his MBA right now. And he goes 1 of 2 at the line, so pretty much to his percentages. A 1-point game, 5:45 to go here in the first half. Justin Kutcher alongside Donnie Marshall here on FS1. And there's Najee Marshall attacking the hoop. A late whistle, but Najee Marshall will head to the free throw line as the foul is called against Enzi.
Well, there was a foul right there, just the hands. That foul probably would have been called on the first dribble.
They would have liked that.
Maybe not so much at the rim. I think Travis Steele would have liked it, looking at the Band-Aid under Najee Marshall's eye already.
Najee Marshall took an elbow to the eye. That's why he's got the Band-Aid there. He's got all 3 of his points at the free throw line so far tonight.
I love this kid's game. He's got to continue to break out. I think sometimes when you have that length and athleticism, you know, the game is a little bit, you make it a little bit harder than it should be instead of just using your talents.
Miles Cale doesn't get the roll. The foul is called against Paul Scruggs.
And that's another guy. My description could suit Miles Cale as well when you're trying to figure out how to get your shooting percentage up from those mid-30s from inside the arc and outside the arc. You see it right there. You know, that field goal percentage is rising. But he and Najee Marshall, they remind me of one another because they're so athletic, they're so long, have great size. But sometimes when you overthink the game, it doesn't flow. It's not fluid. When all you have to do is use your athleticism and just play mindless basketball, I like to call it.
He's 1 of 2 at the line. Back to a 1-point game. Gooden going up against Quincy McKnight. So far for Xavier, the offense really has been Zach Hankins. 14 as Scruggs now is going to back down against McKnight. Step back, the free throw line, no. Gill with the rebound. And a chance for SetonHall again to take the lead. Powell. The finger roll puts it in, and Hankins hits the deck hard. He bounces back up, and everybody in the arena just took a deep breath.
Tell you what, this is how you finish, though. I mean, that's just that's a tough play right there. You come in late. And first thing to hurt, though, is those wrists, because you put your hands down. It's just, that's your first instinct. You don't want to put your face down first, especially you don't want to put your face down first. That pretty thing. You don't want to mess up that moneymaker.
It's the first lead since it was 10-9. Gooden to get the lead back. He does.
Much better shot there from 3 than his earlier attempt. A little off balance, had his feet set, hands ready to catch and shoot.
That's the first 3 of the ball game for Xavier. McKnight, no, and a rebound for Najee Marshall. Gooden. for Hankins with the left. He doesn't like that shot very much, but he likes the follow dunk. And that is a new Xavier high with 16. McKnight, the bounce pass for Enzi, able to save it, and it's out of bounds. It will stay SetonHall ball with 7 on the shot clock when we come back. Zach Hankins is doing his best Donnie Marshall with these follow dunks. Look at him, and he knows where the camera is, too.
Eli, I got this. It's so easy. Just tap the...
Most people didn't think we'd even make the playoffs, man. And look, what we do, man. 206, Seattle. That's how we roll, Kutcher.
It's a 4-point game here at the Cintas Center. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Quincy McKnight has to inbound from the corner with Najee Marshall on him. Mamu gets it. 5 on the shot clock. Powell has it go off him. A turnover for SetonHall. That is the 5th turnover of the half for the Pirates. Excuse me, that's the 6th turnover.
And a much better job, though. In the first 4 minutes, they had 3. That's their 3rd in the last. You do the math.
I'm sorry, I was told there'd be no math done tonight. So pop quiz. Scruggs, the spin move, wild shot, but draws the foul. It'd be the 17th foul. Regardless, it was a shooting foul. And the foul is against Quincy McKnight. That's number 2 against him. So he will be going to the bench with those 2 fouls. Quincy McKnight is getting spoken to by Mike Eads about why he called the foul on him. And Scruggs misses the free throw.
That's good officiating, though. You know, we talk about how the game has evolved as far as the players, their strength, you know, what they can do, the rules of the game, but also the officials. You know, when I played, you couldn't even look at an official, man. They didn't want to have anything to do with you as a player. At least now, these guys want to talk to you and help you. It's nice to see.
Scruggs with 8 points, and guess what? Another turnover here. Mamu was trying the bounce pass for Gill.
I think that's where you catch it, you turn, and you don't premeditate what you're going to do. You know, the defender, Hankins, was standing right in between both of you. Make him commit to you or your teammate, and then you make a decision.
Gooden, alley-oop, Hankins! It's too easy for him. An 8-0 run for the Musketeers as they lead by 7. And a timeout for SetonHall. And he can't wipe the smile off his face.
And listen, it's not that time it was Miles Kell, but it's been multiple guys who haven't communicated to help on that pick and then the role of the big man from Xavier.
2:45 to go. Nelson gets in, puts it over Hankins, but Hankins gets the rebound. 4 rebounds now for Hankins to go along with those 18 points.
And give Xavier a lot of credit. They're really overplaying Miles Powell. They're not allowing him to come up and get that ball. They're suffocating him in the corner and making someone else beat them.
Scruggs open underneath. That'll be goaltending against Gill. And you can just see right now, Xavier is clicking. SetonHall is lost defensively.
Again, it's the same area. There's no one there. This is the issue that SetonHall has to understand. Xavier shoots 34% from 3. There's no reason you should be overplaying guys that far from the basket. Pack it in and then run out under control. Points in the paint right now are killing SetonHall.
Torian Thompson off the bench, able to finish to make it a 7-point game. And you got to think that Kevin Willard's going to tell his team, guys, they're shooting 1 of 6 from 3-point land. Make them shoot the 3.
26 of their 40 points for Xavier are in the paint. Just can't happen in the second half if you're SetonHall and expect to win this game.
Scruggs. Out, Wellich for 3. He's their shooter. Misses. Kale with the rebound. And here come the Pirates trying to run. Kale A little too fast for the handle. Thompson. Powell. Passed up the three, gets it back. Resets his feet, knocks it down.
Just give him a touch, man. That's it. You know, it's harder to defend him from the top of the key, and that's why they keep going back and forth. When he gets in the corner, he's going to probably in the second half have to work a little harder of working off those screens because Xavier, they've really kept him down in those corners, and he hasn't been available.
Najee Marshall, a little up and under move. His first field goal. Under a minute to play here in the first half. Powell to the hoop again with a finger roll.
Just give him the ball, man. Just get him a touch.
So with all that said, here is SetonHall down by just 4. When it looked like Xavier might run away, SetonHall is able to keep themselves in this game.
This SetonHall team, they're fighters.
A block by Torian Thompson, and now SetonHall can hold for the final shot.
Against Maryland on the road, Kentucky in overtime, St. John's, this team fights. If anyone in this building that's not a SetonHall fan thinks they're going to give up, boy, are they mistaken.
Here is Powell. Powell gets it stripped. Marshall up ahead. And time will run out on this first half. It's a cop show.
See if I can get that green lit when I get to L.A.
Val Caslin inbounds here for the Musketeers as they start with the ball in the second half, up by 4. Hankins sets the screen for Gooden. Gooden turns the corner to the hoop, and he gets fouled going up for the dunk. And that foul is going to be against Quincy McKnight, which will be his 3rd.
Okay, so now here's the issue. You get out of the double team because they were staying in the double too long. So that allowed Hankins down low, just throw it up to him. And now you come out of the double and Quentin Gooden turns the corner. So that means your individual on-ball defense has to be that much better if you're a guard for SetonHall, because the big is not going to be there to help you contain the ball handler, because it looks like so far he's been told to get back to Hankins rolling.
Gooden misses both free throws, but the rebound is out of bounds off of Sandro Mamukelashvili. So it will stay Xavier ball. Kevin Willard is rolling the dice right now, keeping McKnight on the floor with those 3. Scruggs, spin move. And that gets pinned, jump ball, possession arrow, and it will be to SetonHall.
And SetonHall will inbound on the alternate possession.
If you're Kevin Willard right now and you keep Quincy McKnight on the floor, he nearly carried the ball right there, was saved by Miles Powell. He's trying to depend on his leadership. Little underneath pass, Mamukelashvili with a finish.
They need to get him going as well. 5 points in this game. A lot of expectations for Mamukelashvili to help this team and help a guy like Miles Powell. You're talking 1-2 punch.
42-40s. Xavier on top. 10 on the shot clock for Gooden. Takes the bump, and that's going to be number 4 against McKnight. So Kevin Willard was trying to let his transfer from Sacred Heart, who worked his entire redshirt season on defense, to stay in there because he wanted his point guard leadership skills on the floor. He's going to have to come out here at the 19:01 mark of the second half with 4 fouls, and in is going to be the freshman, Anthony Nelson. So Anthony Nelson out of New York. Welcome to the Big East.
A couple things to unpack here. If you're playing against Quentin Gooden, you almost want to challenge him to try to shoot over the top of you. Not saying he can't make it, but his strength is getting into you, putting that ball on the floor and using his body like he's done the last couple of plays against McKnight. Now, for Kevin Willard, The luxury is you have a couple guards you can throw in the game. They might be young, but you have some bodies.
Powell for three off the back of the rim. Still a 4-point lead, 44-40. Xavier on top of SetonHall. Scruggs, little hesitation. Hankins had 18 in the first half. Scruggs into the paint. Comes to a stop. Great footwork. The patience of Paul Scruggs makes it 46-40. He's got 12. Miles Cale has been quiet so far in this game. Powell. Enzi gets fouled, gets the roll. He'll go to the free throw line for a three-point play.
I don't know if, I know the crowd thinks he traveled, and I don't know if he did or not, Michael Enzi, but what a heads-up play to feel I might travel or I might run someone over, so let me just throw that thing up to the rim. Hey, this is a tough spot. That's just a heads-up play.
The foul's against Caslin. Enzi converts the three-point play and makes it a three-point game.
And he only had to shoot one.
Yeah.
Instead of two. He's at 48%, so.
2 for 3 at the line on the night. Najee Marshall. His pull-up comes up short, trying to crash the glass. Torian Thompson gets the rebound. Miles Powell with a head of steam. Wild shot and a late whistle. Wow. That foul's going to be called against Zach Hankins. And Miles Powell is going to head to the free throw line for 2. That was a late whistle.
You know, Miles Powell doesn't get enough credit for his change of speed. It's just tough when you're a big and you're jumping into the body of a guard and going the same way. It's tough for an official not to blow that whistle, you know? If you're on the ground, okay, now you may have an argument, but I didn't think that was I really didn't think that was a bad call.
No, it was a good call. You saw the hand come down on the forearm, but it was just a late call, and that's what got the crowd upset as Powell, an 87% free throw shooter, makes 1 of 2. Good in the crossover. Little hesitation with the left. No. Thompson with the rebound. Here comes Anthony Nelson, the freshman. Leaves it back for Powell for 3. And the rebound for Enzi. Powell to the hoop. And that will be an offensive foul. Najee Marshall was outside the restricted area, and that's going to be number 2 against Powell.
You could almost see it coming right when he went past Hankins. Najee Marshall heads up play, standing in and taking it. A lot of times, players are afraid to take that contact when the other guy's in the air. That's a terrific take.
Not when your last name is Marshall and you wear number 13.
Absolutely not. Are you kidding me?
In case you're wondering, it's Justin Kutcher alongside Donnie Marshall. Donnie wore number 13 for part of his career. Gooden. Turnover. This that live ball turnover. Powell to the hoop. Misses the dunk. Gets his own miss. And SetonHall will reset. Could have laid it in. He wanted the explosion.
Well, he wanted to put someone on a poster. That's exactly what he was thinking. But in a game like this, you got to get the easy one.
On the road, chance to tie it. Thompson, shot clock down to 8. Cale. Nelson, shot clock at 2, has to put it up with the right. No. Enzi tried to keep it alive. Willich got the rebound.
And that's a possession Kevin Willard's going to want back. That ball did not move. Each guy looked up to try to run their own offense. Can't have it on the road.
When we go back, I don't know, with 3 minutes to go, we may look back at that possession as being the game turner. It could have been a tie game. Instead, it's a 4-point lead here for Xavier. Enzi against Willich. Skip pass along the baseline. Thompson hesitated, and Gooden with the rebound.
Yeah, 2 bad possessions there. for Kevin Willard's guys. That ball's got to continue to move, especially if you're Torian Thompson. And Miles Powell is the next guy you can throw it to.
Miles Powell gets the rebound off the good and miss. Hale all the way to the hoop, had a screen set for him. A path cleared by Enzi. It's like the Dallas Cowboys offensive line.
Yeah, a couple things. Miles Powell, when it's in his hand, most of the time great things happen for Seton Hall. Miles Kell, maybe that'll get him going. You get an easy one in transition, hopefully get that basket to get a little bit bigger to his eyes.
Marshall for three. That doesn't go, and Enzi gets the rebound. Again, a chance for Seton Hall to tie or take the lead.
That's a good job by Miles Powell. He has the ultra green light, but he wants to run some offense. Try to get a good possession after having a couple of duds.
Torian Thompson, a deep three. Not sure that's the shot you want. And Kevin Willard even said, what was that?
Yeah, and he's smiling right now, but that's not the right mindset to have on the road in the Big East.
They benefit. Marshall turns it over. Here's Thompson. Gives it back to Powell. Nelson, extra pass. Cale for three in the lead. No, Gooden with the rebound.
That's a good play, though. Swing it. Cale had his feet set. Got to knock those down. I don't care what your percentage is. Wide open, you got to make them.
Xavier's had a couple of turnovers in the last few possessions. Gooden, his step-back jumper. And that goes over the backboard. Leads us to a break. Miles Powell had a chance to do something special. He missed the dunk, also up his fourth at the 19:01 mark of this half. So Anthony Nelson, the freshman, is running the point right now for the Pirates. Into the game also another freshman, Jared Rhoden, number 14. Mamu Kelishvili gets open underneath. Tyreek Jones comes over for the block. Mamu, the spin move, throws it up. Good defense there by Scruggs. Mamu wanted a foul. Mike Eads said, hey, he went straight up, no foul. Marshall now going to back down against the freshman. Marshall with the left, no. Scruggs crashing the glass. It's out of bounds. Off of Seton Hall will be Xavier basketball. And Xavier works on rebounding every practice, and Scruggs was going so hard at yesterday's practice on that rebounding drill.
Yeah, the key, when you're in there with a bunch of bodies, at times you try to just out-jump guys, try to get to it as quick as you can, but if you do your work early and put a body on someone, it's easier to dig that rebound out.
Scruggs against Powell. Scruggs with the left. Again, the patience, the footwork. Scruggs now with 14. Nelson picked up by Scruggs. Goes to the spin move, and that'll be a foul against Scruggs. He thought he got all ball. I believe the replay will show he got more than just ball.
Yeah, with 13 minutes on the button left to play for Seton Hall, down 4. They're missing some assignments as far as screens go. This is just a good individual play. That's a great call by the official there on the wrist. But Seton Hall on the road, those things you can get away with at home with your crowd and the energy behind you, you can't get away with on the road. You got to get back to setting your screens, running your stuff this last 13 minutes.
Here's something funny. Players never think they commit a foul, right?
Yeah, no.
Scruggs, when Nelson missed the free throw, looked back at Mike Roberts like, hey, ball don't lie. Yeah. He just stared him down.
I would tell Paul Scruggs that Mike Roberts is the wrong guy to give any kind of a look at unless you're going over there to say Happy New Year.
Wellage left open for three. Got it.
And by the sound of the crowd, that's what they've been waiting for.
They're quick to learn who their shooter is. Powell to answer. Doesn't get the roll. Wellage gets the rebound. Here come the Musketeers. for three. He's got it. Largest lead and win. Look at their winning percentage all time. That's 5th best in all of college basketball. They were 17-1 at home last year.
And it says a lot about your fan base and how committed they are to your team and your program when there's sellout crowds and school is still out, meaning there are no students to fill up that student section. That's it. That to me says it all.
Powell. Alley-oop for Romaro Gill. A good play out of the timeout drawn up by Kevin Willard to snap that 8-0 run. And that was a big bucket for the Pirates.
Well, you trust in Miles Powell to make the right play. Great things happen when he has the ball in his hands.
He's got 5 assists on the night. Marshall bounce pass for Jones. Has it stripped by Kale on the way up. 7th turnover for Xavier. Nelson, little hesitation. Oh, what a move by the freshman.
And at the 13-minute mark, I said they just have to clean some things up. Run their stuff a little cleaner, and those last 2 possessions have been perfect for Kevin Willard.
Gooden. Shot clock to 10. Ball knocked away by Gill. Another turnover. And now Jones knocks it away. The other way, Gooden. Oh! He challenges the 2 big men for SetonHall and still puts it in.
Yeah, you get it up quick. You see those bigs coming. You got to be fast with that ball. Get it out of your hand.
9 points now for Quentin Gooden, the team's leading scorer on the season. Mamu passed up a 3, fading away, wild shot. He passed up the easier shot for the more difficult one. Good recovery by Romaro Gill. Another turnover. This is not what Xavier wants. And this will be an and one. A blocking foul called here. Wait a minute, no shot.
Wow.
It's going to be a foul on the floor called by Roger Ayers. Ayers and Roberts are getting together. I know if you're in the NBA, you're seeing this is definitely an and one. I still think it should have been an and one. It's an 8-point game.
Ball screen. If you have the ball in your hand, there's a screen coming. Run your stuff.
By the way, we do want to let you know that they decided the refs got together. They counted the basket by Powell. So this is a 1 shot for a 3-point play, and he converts it to make it a 5-point game. And nearly gets the steal right there. And this is deflected out of bounds by Mamu Kelishvili. One thing that Travis Steele told us is that the key number for his team is 11 turnovers. And every single timeout, he tells his team where they are in turnovers. Right now, they are at 9. Tyreek Jones to the hoop. He has it blocked by Gill. That's the reason why Gill's in there. Kale the other way. No, the finish by Mamu. 3-point game, under 10 to go.
And that's the speed that SetonHall wants to play at. You talk about live ball turnovers.
Another block here by Gill.
Block shots are like turnovers.
Powell. Loose ball. Mamu with a finish again. 1-point game. Timeout, Xavier. Gill has been a difference maker on the defensive end with a couple of blocks on back-to-back possessions, makes it a 1-point game. Travis Steele responds by putting Zach Hankins back in, and now a foul will be called here against Shavar Reynolds.
Had some sarcastic claps from the applause from the crowd about the foul, but this is what set SetonHall up so well, their defense. And Romaro Gill stepping in there, blocking a couple shots, but the defense on the backside has been much better than in the first half. That's what allows a guy like Gill to be there to block those shots.
Hankins, there's a turnover, number 10, Kale against Marshall. Marshall went straight up, Kale couldn't finish. And Hankins with a rebound.
Anytime you get that contact, you got to throw that ball up much higher.
Gooden, no. Mamu goes up high for the rebound. Again, a chance for SetonHall to take the lead. Powell drops it off for Gill. Can't hang on to it. Here comes Gooden. They've got numbers. Kale with a back check. Takes it away. What a recovery by Miles Kale. Mamu for three in the lead.
Slow down. I like the shot.
Yeah.
I don't mind it at all. Great rotation. Got what they wanted. And now this pace, I don't know who it favors, Cuts. I really don't. Both teams like to get up and down. But Xavier has been much better in their half-court offense tonight.
Hankins trying to find Wellich. Shot clock down to 8. Marshall, shot clock at 5. And that goes over the backboard. That doesn't go as a turnover. However, they have 5 turnovers in the last 4 minutes to Xavier. A couple of blocked shots. And look at this, the turnover margin on the season, minus 1.4, 9th out of 10 teams in the Big East. And SetonHall has made this comeback without Quincy McKnight, their starting point guard who picked up his 4th foul a minute into the second half. Nelson for the lead. No, keeping it alive. This one's coming our way. And it's going to be out of bounds. Nelson was on the sideline. It will be Xavier basketball.
That's great hustle. Big East basketball at its finest.
Happy New Year, right? Big East basketball is back. 1-point game here in Cincinnati.
Bench. And right now, SetonHall's winning the bench matchup 21-7. Remember, Quincy McKnight on the bench as a starter. Kevin Willard has had guys come in and really do a great job as far as scoring goes. But Xavier needs some help off their bench, or they got to get Hankins going again a little bit.
Get Hankins going. Najee Marshall's just 2 of 10 from the floor. Here's Scruggs backing down against Powell, and Powell reaches in for the foul. That'll be the 15th foul against SetonHall, the 3rd against Powell.
I'd love to see them go double and get that ball out of Scruggs' hands. He's too comfortable right now, backing Miles Powell down. Love to see SetonHall get it out of his hands, make them work a little bit, make someone else try to beat you. Scruggs has had a night.
Wellich for 3. Scruggs, the offensive rebound. Scruggs able to get rid of it. Wellich, his floater. That should be a goaltend and 1. Yes, it is. They will count it and 1 for Wellich. The foul is against Mamukelashvili.
Yeah, that ball was coming down. It's a terrific call. A little too aggressive by Gill there to try to get the block.
Wellich.
And then let's remember, Coach, earlier in this game, there was a goaltend that was on the rim. Najee Marshall hit it off, no call. That's 2 more points SetonHall could have on the board.
And now Quincy McKnight is back in with those 4 fouls here for the Pirates. Extra pass, Kale in the corner for 3. It's back to a 1-point game.
Miles Powell makes the extra pass.
6th assist for Miles Powell on the night. Gooden. Alley-oop for Hankins. His first points of the second half.
And it's amazing how Hankins comes in the game and the defensive set is much different than when Tyreek Jones is in the game.
Kale. And 1. Foul against Najee Marshall, and Kale will have a chance to tie this game up at 63.
That's just great job by Mamukelashvili to pass up the 3 that he could have taken from that short corner to find Kale. Opportunity for an and one.
0 for 1 at the line, a 71% free throw shooter. Trying to tie it up with 6:26 to go in this game. And he does just that. Foul situation, the next foul against Seton Hall, and Xavier shooting free throws the rest of the game.
This is when your communication has to be at its best if you're Seton Hall defensively.
Marshall picks up the dribble. Good in directing traffic. Wants a two-man game. Shot clock down to 6. Scruggs sees the shot clock, pulls up for 3. Hankins gets the offensive rebound. Fresh 30. Wellage, offensive foul.
And that's a tough play for Ryan Wellage. That's not his comfort zone. Putting it on the floor and trying to get something going to the rim. That's when you got to value it, get it back out. You had enough time on that shot clock. With less than 6 to play, you got to get quality shots. Every possession is so important.
The last lead for Seton Hall was with 4:58 to go in the first half, 31-30. They have a chance to take the lead here. Powell against Gooden. And a blocking foul called against Gooden.
That's an easy one. I know the home crowd is doing what they're supposed to do, but you're never going to get this call as a charge this far out. First of all, you're not squared up. You're trying to lean in. It's an easy call for the official.
That's the 17th foul, so 1-1 for Powell, an 87% free throw shooter. And he front rims it, goes after his miss and gets it. Powell has already tied a career high with 6 assists on the night. Enzi, little pick and roll. Kick out. Reynolds for 3. Gill gets the rebound. A fresh 30 for the Pirates.
Right now, Xavier has to tighten it back up, get it together, use that energy. They got 5 minutes to play here, and this crowd is trying to keep him going.
Powell to Gill for the lead. A career high 7 assists for Miles Powell.
And such a great delivery. Throw it to your big man where only he can catch it right in the numbers. Easy finish for Gill.
Gooden. Here's Scruggs. Hankins sets the screen. Trying to get it to Hankins. Hankins creating space. Air ball. Scruggs. That should be goaltending. It is with 4 on the shot clock, and we're tied again. Man, this is fun.
Yeah. I don't mind that, though. You score that basket, this crowd goes crazy. For Seton Hall right now, you just don't have that height of excitement when it's a block shot and it's a dead ball. So I don't mind it by Gill. And you know what? This last 4.5, Xavier may be thinking about him down low if they try to attack that rim. Now's the time where Xavier has to step up defensively. Need a big stop here.
6 ties on the night. Kale. He's picked up by Keontae Kennedy, the freshman who's come in for defensive purposes. For Wellage, Powell now for 3. Hits it, big shot for Miles Powell.
Off of a bad pass, down low to the shoestrings outside of his right foot. And gets himself gathered and knocks it down.
He's got 19. He averages 22.5. 3-point lead for Seton Hall on the road. Scruggs answers right back. Timeout taken by Xavier. Seton Hall, how about this? You know that Xavier and Villanova have been great in the last 4 years. But here's Seton Hall. People may not realize how good they've been in the Big East the last few years.
First of all the credit goes to that guy right there. This school has been playing basketball 115 years. They have never had 4 consecutive 21 seasons. This could be the chance for them to do that this season. They are on their way.
Miles Powell for 3. Back rims it. Gill, the offensive rebound. Trying to get rid of it. He does to McKnight. And McKnight says, all right, let's settle down and reset. By the way, Seton Hall on the year is 9-0 when hitting 5 or more threes. They've got 7 in the game. Powell, the step back along the baseline. He's got 21.
It is just so pretty. He's not just a three-point shooter. It's beautiful. Gets a defender on his heels and then stops on a dime.
Wellich, he is the three-point shooter. Hankins sets the screen for Gooden. The in-and-out dribble. Gill with the block. Here comes Powell. He's got McKnight. McKnight back to Powell. And all of a sudden, it's a 4-point Seton Hall lead.
That's how you run a fast break right there. Give it up, get it back, share the basketball.
Both teams with 1 timeout remaining. What's the answer here by Xavier? And that is going to be a foul against Miles Powell, which will be the 17th foul. And it's the 4th against Powell. Gooden at the free throw line for 1-1. That was close because the foul was called just as it looked like Najee Marshall may have gotten away with a carry. Gooden's free throw off the mark. Seton Hall has had some big wins already this year, trying for another one on the road at the Cintas Center to go to 2-0 in Big East play to start the year.
And remember, they know how to finish.
Mamukelashvili misses the 3. Wellich with a rebound. Under 2 to go.
So Xavier has to run some good stuff. Love the pick and roll.
Scruggs for 3. In and out.
Good play.
Gill gets the rebound. And Seton Hall is happy to take some time off the clock. You think Powell's going to touch it?
You know, he should, but crazy things happen late in games.
McKnight. Just like that.
When you have a veteran, a guy who scored a ton of points at Sacred Heart the last couple seasons, it's a nice luxury to have for Kevin Willard. Put in his hands right now. Xavier has to go.
Down by 6. Gooden, blocking foul against McKnight. That's his 5th. He is fouled out. It will be a 1-and-1 situation again.
Seton Hall foul number 0. That's his 5th.
I mean, just take a look at all this area right here, and you know exactly what McKnight's doing. He's getting that ball straight to the rim, no help. Terrific finish, tried to get the contact, but continued to focus on making the basket.
So as McKnight fouls out, Kevin Willard is essentially using this as a timeout.
It's a nice little breather for both sides. They played their hearts out.
And again, you look at it, both teams have 1 timeout remaining. Gooden at the free throw line. Just missed a free throw. He's 2 of 5 at the line tonight. Came in as a 71% free throw shooter. Hits that one.
McKnight did a great job. He still had 4 assists. You know, he had some foul trouble. He played 19 minutes, but made a terrific pass and then a finish for big buckets the last couple of possessions for Seton Hall. Nothing to hang his head about.
Gooden makes them both. Kyle Castlin's going to come back in. Wellich will go out. Again, a defensive substitution here for Xavier.
And now they got to use their length and be smart. Try to come up with a steal here.
Miles Cale to inbound. He can run the baseline. Reynolds. They got to be careful about a 10-second. The long pass ahead to Powell. Now the alley-oop. Mamu with the dunk.
And who's it from?
Miles Powell.
Makes
8 assists.
A touchdown catch in the back of the end zone and then finishes.
And the offensive foul against Gooden. It was drawn by Shavar Reynolds, a former walk-on, the guy who hit the game winner against St. John's.
Look at this. That's the back of the end zone. You keep it in, and then the finish, the perfect pass to Mamukelashvili.
Reynolds again in the corner. Nelson And Scruggs will give the foul there with 46.2 in a 6-point game. That's the 9th team foul against Xavier. 1-1 here for the freshman Anthony Nelson. Nelson on the season is 9 of 11. Coming into tonight, 0 for 2 tonight. And he makes the front end. SetonHall has trailed at the half now 4 times this year.
It doesn't matter.
Well, I was going to say they trailed 3 times and won,
Yep.
and now they trailed here tonight.
Yep.
And they lead by 8 with 46.2. And we said it, and you said it, that Kevin Willard, you know, he had to be kind of happy that his team was only down by 4 at the moment. Gooden turns it over. Last year, Xavier went 17-1 in conference play here at the Cintas Center.
I mean, I don't know. That's got to go up, or that's got to go up. That's got to go up. At some point, someone's got to shoot the basketball.
Senior foul number 13, that's Najee Marshall.
Miles Powell just ran by our area right here and was looking right at you, Donnie Marshall. He was waiting for you to look back. He even pointed at you.
I'm going to remind him about that dunk he missed, too. There was a nice one early on, but the one a little bit later. This was just a hard-fought, really a well-played game. There was just a little low late for Xavier. And they got away a little bit from that pick and roll for Hankins. And SetonHall took advantage of that.
25 points on the night for Powell. Gooden's shot is off the mark. And that should do it. No more fouls. Miles Powell can dribble this one out. It'll be 7 straight wins for the Pirates. They will move to 2-0 in conference play, as Xavier will fall to 1-1. A win at the Cintas Center for Kevin Willard and SetonHall as they win it 80-70.